What's going on, guys? It's Father. Welcome back to another video. Now today we're going to be talking about the Nintendo Switch Direct and the video that I made about Splatoon 3. It was essentially my wish list on the most important changes that I wanted to see in the game, and I was going to wait until Splatoon 3 actually dropped to make this video, and I'm gonna do the same thing for Breath of the Wild 2. I think that a lot of the stuff on my wish list was covered in Splatoon 3's Direct, so we're gonna go over that really quickly, and we're gonna see what Nintendo fixed and what they didn't fix. So the first thing that I wanted to see changed in Splatoon 3 was the ranking system, and by the looks of it, yes, they actually did change the ranking system. It looks more like Splatoon 1's ranking system. I don't have the information, or we don't have the information. Specifically, I said that I wanted a ranking system that punishes the player and or rewards the player based on what they contributed to that specific game, and have those points add up to an overall required number of points to exceed that rank. I don't know if they're going to do that. Probably not. I think it's just Splatoon 1's ranking system. All right, the second topic that we're going to go over is not the weapons. Well, I did mention that in my last video, but we don't know the exact functionality of the weapons, and I doubt that they have changed very much. The next topic was communication / voice chat. Now, what I wanted was a party system for Nintendo Switch Online, so you can get into a party with the people on your friends list. Obviously, Nintendo didn't do that, and there's no party chat function in Splatoon 3 as far as we know. Probably there isn't going to be anything implemented into the game itself. You know, I just prefer it to be on the console like every other fucking console that exists right now. My fault. But there was another point that I made while bringing up the issue of the lack of voice chat in Splatoon 2, and I said to even begin to know, like without Discord, without any outside sources, it's basically impossible to join up with that player. They're going to have to use telekinesis to communicate with each other. Hey, do you want to start up a lobby? Hey, yeah, I'll join at this exact time. You know what I mean? Splatoon 3 mitigated that issue. You can now send out notifications to your friends, and joining matches seems to be a bit easier with the people that are online, with the people that are on your friends list. So I commend them for that in particular. Now, another topic was the weapon / gear slot, rolls, chunks, whatever, that whole system. That shit just needed to be thrown the fuck out the window, you know what I'm saying? I gave a pretty good proposal, a good proposition for Nintendo, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was a pretty good alternative. You can go watch the video in the link in the description down below. Essentially, I think that the system is retarded, takes way too fucking long, and Nintendo, I really don't think got rid of the system for Splatoon 3, nor do I really don't think they're going to in another update. But they made this system a lot less painful. I'm assuming. I don't know how much better it makes the system, obviously, because we don't have the game yet. But apparently, you know, you can put stars on specific gear and you can get chunks faster. 2, you can now knock off and change the main ability for your gear, and that also costs 6 chunks. But, you know, again, you can continue to, you know, collect chunks and at a faster rate, even beyond your 3 slots. You're not going to get more than 3 slots, but you can collect gear chunks after those slots are filled and at a faster rate, which is great. Bars. The next thing was game modes. So there aren't any new game modes, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to add one new ranked game mode a little later down the line, just how they did with Clan Blitz for Splatoon 2. In the video that I made, I did want specific changes for the game modes. All 4 of them. Besides Rainmaker, there aren't any changes listed on the website, or, you know, just from what we can see, there aren't any changes. How the fuck ever Rainmaker got checkpoints? Thank God. Oh my gosh. Do you guys understand how huge that is? Rainmaker has checkpoints. No more of that retarded ass, oh, you killed me once and now we won the game, essentially. Or, oh, cheeky little push and we got a crazy lead. Now you either have to make a crazy comeback or you have to take this L, nigga. That's the alternative. I hate Rainmaker so much, but I really think that introducing these checkpoints really, it moderates the pace of the game. Rainmaker was the one game mode that isn't moderated. You know, the zones has a countdown. The tower has a countdown. Clams, you have to have a certain amount of clams in the basket. There's a certain amount of clams that spawn on the map. You know, everything is regulated. Rainmaker is unregulated. It was just a fucking ridiculous game mode, to be honest. Now, the next asks that I had were rotations. Now, they mitigated this very, very slightly. So you can play Anarchy Series. Ranked mode is called Anarchy now. You can play Anarchy Series solo, right? Win 5 games, lose 3 games. Who cares, nigga? You could always start over, right? It's basically solo ranked, right? You can play that solo, right? And those have 2 different maps than, you know, just Anarchy, normal Anarchy solo, not series, you know, just Anarchy solo, just ranked mode, right? So essentially, you have now 4 different maps on ranked rotation. But I don't fuck with rotations at all. This game mode is only available for 2 hours, and then the next game mode, and then the next game mode, and then the next game mode. And then, you know, realistically, if they're going to add a 5th ranked game mode, it's going to make rotations even more of a bitch. I mean, the point is that niggas have lives. Okay, like, we have lives. Simple. It's simple as that. And having rotations really fucks with our lives. I don't fuck with map voting. All you have to do is keep it how it is. Just have every single game mode available at once. Simple. And then every 2 hours, you can swap out the maps. And 2, if you have all the game modes available at once, you know what I mean? And not on rotations, people can, like, no life and just sit all day and win games, and they can get like 8,000 X power or whatever. But number one, who the fuck cares? I don't even know. Like, just top 500 is going to be really, really, like, a lot harder to ascertain if, you know, all the game modes are available at once. But who cares, nigga? It's supposed to be competitive. It's supposed to be, when you see somebody with a top 500 marker on top of their, I was gonna say alias, my fault, on top of their gamer tag, you know, you're supposed to get shook. You're supposed to be like, oh shit. But yeah, rotations just fuck with people's lives, you know what I'm saying? And like, I don't know, man. I really don't fuck with that concept at all. The next point that I wanted to bring up was the training zone. Now, if you saw the video that I'm referring back to in this video, you would know that I fucking hate Splatoon 2's training zone. So unrealistic. I mean, it gets you warmed up. The best thing that it does for you is to get you used to the input delay in Splatoon 2. What I wanted was like octoling like bots, so we can practice the harder to use weapons without the expense of our time, energy, and rank, and teammates' ranks. So like if I wanted to, you know, transition into charger mains, you know what I'm saying, and I'm a shooter main right now, the only way that's going to happen, the only way that I'm going to become like a really good charger main, I'm going to get the ass whooping before I give the ass whooping, you know what I mean? I want to be able to use the bamboozler, the squiffer, you know what I mean? The blasters, but those are, you know, weapons that you aren't going to be able to use effectively without sacrificing your time, your energy, and your rank. So to combat this, I thought that having octoling like bots in the training zone, you know, just to mimic, you know, something more realistic, you know what I mean? I thought that would be extremely helpful, and it would provide a place for players to get used to these new weapons, these harder to use weapons, in a more meaningful way without the expense of their time, energy, rank, and teammates' ranks. You know what I mean? They did 2 things. 1, they overhauled the Splatoon 3 training zone. I do like the overhaul. Again, I feel like bots would have been better, but hey. And 2, you can recon any map, regardless of what's on rotation, for up to an hour. My next point was online maintenance. Now, Splatoon 2 servers are shit. The input delay is shit on Splatoon 2. I want both of those problems mitigated on Splatoon 3. You know what I'm saying? I cannot play. Like, how the fuck is Splatoon 1 more responsive than Splatoon 2? If I were to show you a video of the input delay on Splatoon 2, you would have thought that I was playing, like, illegitimately. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was trying to run the game on a 1999 Dell computer. The game looks smoother, but there's no real way to tell until we actually get our hands on Splatoon 3. Another point that I made was skipping the intro, and this was huge. This was huge. guys, we are able to skip the news in Splatoon 3. Let's clap it up. Let's clap it up. They included that in the direct. The fact that that's, you know, to an extent a selling point to the game. Oh my gosh. Bro, like, why the fuck do I have to sit and watch the news every single time I log onto the fucking game? That was so annoying. Thank God that it's able to be skipped in Splatoon 3. I appreciate it, but I mean, Jesus, that's really something that should have been in a Splatoon 2 update. And then I asked for Splatoon 3 to show the overall game stats. They have, what the fuck do they have? What's shown at the end of your game is a mix between Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 1. It's kills, deaths, and specials. Achievements. Now, I don't know if these banners are achievements or if they're all just given to you. If they're locked behind achievements, I think that would be beautiful. You know, like calling cards. And I really do think Nintendo watched my video because I feel like I was the only person to say, oh, I want calling cards in Splatoon 2. And then I see the reveal trailer and they literally have calling cards. Like, Nintendo, y'all watched my video, didn't you? I put a little too much anger in that video and y'all felt it through the screen. I know that was the case. If I see like all the emotes given to you, all of the banners are given to you or locked behind coins or whatever, and they aren't achievements, I'm gonna be like, man, that shit is lame. But if they are locked behind achievements, good job, Nintendo. But anyways, that's it for the video, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you guys on the next one.